Spoiler alert tells the story of a couple deeply in love, Michael and Kit, as they deal with unexpected life struggles. The movie opens with a scene where Michael and Kit are resting together in the same hospital bed. Kit is attached to tubes there and looks in bad condition. Michael watches him in his sleep, caressing his arm, and thinking about how they first met, which he describes as the plot twist he never expected. It happened 14 years ago, when Michael was working as a staff writer for TV Guide. He is in a meeting, where he shares the title of the piece he is writing. His boss does not look impressed and asks him to change the topic. Although Michael's ideas were not appreciated much, he still considered his job a dream, especially for a kid who used to imagine his life as an 80-second sitcom. Michael remembers watching soap operas with his mom, and seeing so many sad characters in hospitals, he was determined to make his story a happy one. For a while it was, until things took a different turn in the end. Michael's life used to be boring before he met his friend Nick. Nick is at the heart of every party, and Michael trusts him to have a good time. Nick helps Michael get out of his shell and convinces him to go to nightclubs on weeknights, something Michael never thought he could do before. That is where Michael met Kit. Kit was freely dancing, and that caught his attention. Although Michael does not fit in, he tries to make a good impression on Kit and waves at him. Michael freaks out when Kit walks over to him. Nick abandons his friend so he can have a private conversation with Kit. Kit asks Michael what has been up since he approached him. Michael awkwardly tells him that he was just being friendly, and that Kit also smiled back at him. Michael learns that Kit was actually smiling at his friend, Nina, who was right behind Michael. She went to get them drinks. Michael finds the misunderstanding awkward and mortifying. Nina reappears and tells Michael that he is his type, which is a tall dweeb. Kit laughs it off and tells him that his friend has had too many drinks. Michael does not know how to react to the whole interaction. Kit asks Michael for a dance, but he refuses, and Kit presumes that he likes to watch. But in the end, Michael is drawn to the middle of the dance floor, close to Kit, for a kiss. Michael and Kit take their makeout session somewhere private. Kit wants to invite him back to his place, but Michael hesitates because he does not know him well. Kit's friend ends up so drunk, so he decides to drive her home instead. Michael gives Kit his card to contact him. He did not think he would hear from Kit, but he called. Michael and Kit go out for dinner. They have different personalities. As Michael is obsessed with TV, Kit could not care less about that. He does not even own one. Michael laughs and tells Kit he has heard of people like him, but has never met one. Kit is a photographer who works at Kosei, New York's finest fast casual restaurant chain, which Michael is a fan of, and he even recognizes one of Kit's ads, which he designed for the restaurant. Kit is happy to give Michael a gift card so he can have as many sandwiches as he likes. Michael is over the moon with that and jokingly asks Kit to marry him. Michael laughs that the question has come up too soon. Kit takes the conversation to a different turn and asks Michael about his take on marriage. Michael is a hopeless romantic, so he is pro-marriage, but Kit does not share his opinion. He does not know if he wants to be a part of the ritual. Michael believes it depends on the ritual. Some are sweet and important. Michael and Kit share their ideas on different topics, like childhood obsessions, their jobs, and family. Kit has a complicated relationship with his parents, while Michael's are deceased. His father died when he was young, while his mother got cancer a few years after that. Kit feels very sorry that Michael had to go through so much pain. When Michael expresses his discomfort at being intimate in public, Kit suggests that they go to his place. Michael is not comfortable with that either, and tells Kit that he has painted his apartment recently and he is afraid it might not be safe for them to breathe in the fumes, so it would be better to go to Kit's place. Kit shares his place with his roommate Kirby. He takes Michael to his room and plays music. Kit faces Michael, and they slowly take their clothes off as they kiss, but then Michael stops Kit all of a sudden. Michael heads to the bathroom and stands in front of the mirror. He remembers the time he was bullied at school. He had told his mother about the incident, and she spoke the sweetest words to him, that what counts is on the inside. Michael tells his reflection to enjoy himself, so he returns to Kit and the two fall back into bed. Kit finds it impossible to take off Michael's pants because his zipper is stubbornly shut. Kit tells Michael to jump so he can slide them off, but they end up laughing because nothing works. Michael finally takes his pants off and accidentally hits Kit in the face with it. When Kit tries to take Michael's shirt off, he panics and hits Kit's hands to stop him. The music suddenly stops, and Kit asks Michael if he is doing something wrong. But Michael's problem is that Kit is so confident and incredibly handsome, and that makes him feel intimidated. Michael tells Kit that he is an FFK, which stands for former fat kid. Michael's body issues are the reason why he looks nervous. He tells Kit that he is uncomfortable showing his stomach, and he even showers with clothes on. Michael is embarrassed, so he asks Kit if he wants him to leave, but Kit tells him they do not have to do anything. They can just talk. Kit asks Michael about the time he realized he was gay. Michael was in 5th grade, and his mother caught him drooling over a shirtless Bo Brady on TV. Kit reveals that his parents are still not aware that he is gay. Kit tells Michael that it has been difficult to accept himself, so he figured it would be tough as well for his parents, and he wants to give it time. Michael kisses Kit, as the latter touches him under his shirt. They take each step at a time. Kit invites Michael to an atelier. He meets Nina, Kit's friend. She introduces him to a painting of a black apple. Nina asks for his opinion on it, and to not disappoint her, he starts analyzing the piece, praising it and saying that it is a reminder that sometimes life is black and white. Michael asks them if they feel the same way about the painting, but they both burst out laughing. Kit thinks it is terrible, and Michael admits that he hates it. Kit takes a photograph of Michael and tells him that his friends really like him. Kit is excited to go to Michael's place, but once again, Michael finds another excuse. Kit asks him if he is hiding a dead body there, since he is so adamant about keeping his house a secret. Michael finally agrees to take Kit there, even when he is unsure about it. Michael walks Kit through the hallway leading to his apartment, after making many unnecessary comments about it. They both stand in front of his door silently. Michael tells Kit that before they go in, he wants to remind him that his friends really like him. Kit impatiently asks Michael to just open the door. Michael again turns around and tells Kit that he is just a person, like everybody else, and Kit sighs at that. Kit finally walks inside Michael's apartment to find his obsession with Smurfs. Michael's bedroom is also Smurf-themed, and that shocks Kit because he thinks it is some sort of fetish. Michael assures him that it is but a hobby. As Kit is trying to grasp what it all means, Michael goes on and on about how he became obsessed with Smurfs. Michael tells Kit that they take him back in time, when things were easier for him. Now, Kit understands why Michael was hesitant to bring him back. He does not know what to say, but Michael urges him to say anything. Kit reveals that he fooled around with someone at the gym last week. Michael is shocked to hear that. Although he and Kit never had the exclusive conversation, Kit feels guilty about it. Kit has never had a real relationship before, so the feeling he has for Michael scares him. Michael sits beside Kit and tells him that Kit scares him too because he is afraid he might break his heart if he falls in love with him. Michael's obsession with Smurfs did not stop Kit from dating him. They spend Christmas together and exchange gifts. Michael gives Kit a magic box, since he spoke about his love for magic as a kid on their first date, while Kit gifted Michael with his very own closet space in his apartment. Michael decides that it is the perfect moment to confess his feelings, but Kit beats him to it. At that moment, Michael takes us once again to the hospital. He says that the bad part has not come yet. He is there to check on Kit. He tells the nurse that Kit's mother is calling him, but Kit asked him to tell her not to come. Michael has never even met Kit's mother, but he speaks to her on the phone. He lets her know that it was only appendicitis and he is doing fine. But he ends up giving her the full address of the hospital. Michael tells Kit that his parents are coming. Kit asks him for a favor to go to his place and clean up anything that looks gay, like his art, any suspicious piece of clothing, as well as his Christmas gift. Michael and Kirby work together to hide Kit's personal belongings. Michael visits Kit at the hospital and meets his mother, Marilyn. Michael is a little awkward when he tries to make a good impression on her. Bob, Kit's father, is also in quite a mood and starts shaking Michael's hand violently. Michael watches Kit's parents argue and drives with them to Kit's place. Kirby pretends to see Michael for the first time. Marilyn is curious to know more about Michael and asks him a chain of awkward questions. Michael seems to know his way around Kit's apartment, and that worries his mother, who is surprised he even knows where Kit puts his sheets. Kit reassures his parents that Michael is just a friend, but Marilyn starts screaming, asking about the reason why Michael is still there. She thinks Kit is acting weird, and she does not understand what is happening, especially because her son can't seem to look her in the eyes. Kit finally screams under pressure, revealing that Michael is his boyfriend, and that he is gay. At that moment, Kirby reveals she is gay as well, surprising Kit as well. Marilyn is disappointed that Kit hid something like that. Bob does not seem to mind at all. He tells Kit that he and Marilyn may not look like it, but they are kind of hip. Michael and Kit's relationship became solid, especially after they moved in together. Another Christmas has come, and this time, Michael decorated the Christmas tree on his own as a surprise for Kit. Michael and Kit lie under the tree and take a moment to appreciate the beauty around them. Kit tells Michael that they should take their first annual Christmas photo. Many were to come, and as years passed by quickly, Michael and Kit have been inseparable for 13 years. But as they ignored their differences, things were getting slowly worse. Michael and Kit visit a therapist every week to work on their relationship. They have been having problems because they have both changed. They do things that annoy each other and are unable to reach a compromise. Michael is mostly jealous of Kit's co-workers and is having trouble accepting the fact that Kit is working with a handsome man called Sebastian. Michael and Kit have a fight about Sebastian all the time. Kit wants Michael to tell him what the problem is, but every time something like this happens, Michael refuses to talk. Michael finally tells Kit that while he is busy working all day to pay their mortgage, Kit is out there with Nina and Sebastian going to art openings. Michael and Kit are in different worlds. The therapist tells them that they resent each other, but love each other too much to part ways. He advises the couple to spend time apart. If they want to come back together, they start living in separate apartments. At the Christmas party, where they have dinner with friends, Michael notices that Kit is not dancing, and it looks like something is seriously wrong with him. He waits until everyone leaves to ask him. Kit moans in pain to pick up his jacket and to reassure Michael that everything is all right. Kit has already set up an appointment with his doctor the next day. Kit calls Michael and tells him that he is waiting for his doctor's feedback. He is having a growth he found on Kit's body biopsied, and that takes Michael back to the time symptoms of cancer started showing on his mother. Michael speaks to Kit's doctor, who looks concerned about the growth size. It is a lot bigger than she anticipated. Michael takes Kit back to his place, which used to be theirs. He wants to take care of him. Michael gets Kit's diagnosis and Googles it immediately. Once back to the apartment, Kit greets Michael and sings that he has cancer, then jokingly says he wanted to tell him he is home. Michael does not find it funny. Kit is annoyed that Michael is Googling his condition because the internet just tells him he is going to die. Michael has already made appointments with the best oncologists in New York, but Kit does not want to drag Michael into his troubles. Michael refuses to leave Kit to deal with this alone. The doctors they see are optimistic and assure them that the type of cancer Kit has is curable, until they visit the last doctor, who basically tells them the harsh truth no doctor was able to. Kit has an extremely aggressive form of neuroendocrine cancer, which requires him to start treatment as soon as possible. Kit walks out of the doctor's office. His cries are heard through the door as he tries to compose himself. Kit's parents do not know about what he is going through. Michael thinks he should tell them because his absence is worrying them, but he is not yet ready to speak to his parents. Kit takes a photograph of Michael. He captures the most painful expression. Then, Michael holds up the camera, and they both start crying, not knowing how to handle their frustration. Kit and Michael visit Marilyn and Bob. They all have dinner together, but Kit finds it difficult to pretend he is doing fine. Kit finally tells his parents that he has cancer. Michael describes that moment as the longest 20 minutes of his life. Although Marilyn and Bob try to be strong for Kit, they cry alone in a different room to not upset Kit. Michael and Kit go to his first chemo session. Michael is surprised to find that the nurses did not prepare a bed as planned for Kit. When a nurse explains that all beds are full, Michael makes a scene and starts screaming, so she can get his husband to bed. Michael tells Kit that he called him husband because boyfriend did not seem dramatic enough. Michael is with Kit every step of the way and they now sleep in the same bed. Kit's hair starts to fall, and he feels sick every day. The doctor tells them that Kit's body is not responding to the chemo. The tumor has grown. She tells Kit that he will stop the chemo so he can have time to gain back his strength. Then, they will start a course of radiation. Kit's health gets a little better, so they take some time off by the beach with his family. Michael and Kit are now intimate again, remembering their love for one another. Kit tells Michael that he has a headache, and when he goes back to the doctor, she tells him that they found a number of nodules on the brain. The radiation has bought Kit some time, but the doctor predicts Kit might have about 6 weeks left. Michael and Kit walk back home in shock. They do not speak a word. Kit finally tells Michael that he knows where he stands now. Kit is not afraid to die because he has had a great life. He also wants Michael to be happy because he knows how Kit's death will affect him. Michael keeps staring at Kit, and then suddenly asks if he slept with Sebastian. Kit confirms Michael's suspicion, finally admitting he cheated, which explains the many nights Kit came back home late. Kit is sorry he lied. Michael tells Kit he is sorry he never told him how good he looks because he was afraid if he understood how beautiful he is, he would leave him. He is also sorry that Kit is going through this. They hold hands, and Kit finally pops the big question. Kit wants to marry Michael. They have been through so much and are about to go through more. With the presence of friends, Michael and Kit get married. They still have one last Christmas together, which they decided to spend with their loved ones. Sometime later, Kit is urgently admitted into the hospital. As he is taken to the emergency ward, he asks for Michael to stay by his side. Kit is surrounded by family as he spends his first night at the hospital. They hold hands for support. Kit is also visited by friends the next day, and even Sebastian shows up. Michael feels uncomfortable by that and leaves them alone. Sebastian thanks Michael for letting him see it. He hugs him and starts crying. Michael asks the doctor how long Kit has. She tells him a couple of hours, and maybe less. Although he looks asleep, she tells him that Kit can hear him. She wants Michael to tell Kit how much he loves him and that he will be okay without him. Kit does not have much time left, and that seems to alarm Michael and Kit's parents. Now is the last chance they have to say goodbye to Kit. Marilyn kisses Kit, finding it difficult to let go of her son. She whispers to him how much she loves him and tells him not to be scared because he is not alone. Bob, who was unable to speak to Kit before, finally finds the right words before it is too late. Then, he and Marilyn leave Michael with Kit. Michael holds Kit's hand and lies beside him. Michael can't seem to look away, as if he wishes to remember every feature of Kit. Then, someone screams cut, and everyone stops acting. Both Michael and Kit leave the bed, as now Kit is doing alright and leaves the room after the scene that was just filmed. Michael asks himself, what if this was just a scene from their story? Michael heads outside the room and thinks deeply about how amazing that would be. He follows Kit, hoping that none of this was real so he can go back to being a TV journalist. Michael introduces himself and tells him he knows Kit is busy, but he wants him to answer some questions he has for him. Michael wants to get Kit's feelings and thoughts on a couple of things, but someone calls for Kit because he needs to go back to work. Michael is afraid he won't get to record Kit's ideas and promises him it won't take long. Michael asks Kit about the character he plays on the show because it is popular. The viewers hate to see him go, so Michael wants to know what is next for him. Kit does not know because there are a lot of possibilities. Kit finds it strange that everyone will still be there, while he will be gone. Michael asks Kit how he is feeling. Kit thinks that is a good question. He feels like he is going to miss life. Michael asks Kit what he should do next, and Kit tells him that he will know. Kit assumes that Michael will figure things out. He asks if Michael has had everything he needs, and after a few seconds of silence, Kit tells him that he is going to be okay. Michael tells Kit that it is going to be incredibly hard for him, but he knows he will be okay in the end. He thanks Kit for the past 13 years. In reality, they are still in the hospital bed. Michael thanks Kit for giving him a family and for loving him. Kit does not want to let go as well, but Michael tells him that he can go now. At that moment, everyone breaks down in tears as they hear the machine signaling that he is dead. Michael was always afraid that Kit would break his heart. Eventually, he did, but not in the way he feared he would. Michael honors Kit with a beautiful speech. Kit has taught Michael to be open to receive and to give love. His journey with Kit was a gift to Michael, and to have been by his side is his greatest honor. Michael goes out with Marilyn for a morning run. She tells him that Kit would have loved his eulogy, but Michael tells her he would have thought it was too long. Michael wants to know what Marilyn is planning to do next. Marilyn has never been to Spain, and she always wanted to go visit the funny-looking museum in Bilbao. Marilyn wants to get away for a while. Michael goes back to his lonely apartment. He looks around and finds Kit's camera. He thinks the hardest part about a story ending is that he needs to say goodbye to his favorite character. But a good ending can feel like the end of one thing and the beginning of another. The hero in Michael's story dies, but an old friend reminds him that the main character sometimes has to take a leap of faith that involves packing a suitcase and leaving everything behind. Michael, who could not drink or smoke at the beginning of the movie, watches the TV as he smokes, and a glass of wine is set on the table before him. Just like the scene in the TV series Felicity, he feels inspired to pack his suitcase and leave. The taxi driver asks him where he is off to, and Michael lets him know that he is taking a flight to Los Angeles. Michael did not get the picture-perfect happy ending love story, but he got a real love story, and no matter how imperfect it was real.